Have you ever felt a dull pain in your lower abdomen, a weak urine stream, or the urge to urinate repeatedly at night, and told yourself it was just age or stress? These are often the first silent signals of prostate distress. My name is Dr. Andrew Namdi, and in my medical practice, I've seen one truth repeated again and again. Prostate problems don't start suddenly. They grow quietly when warning signs are ignored. Mr. Chinidu, 52, came to my clinic after years of adapting his life around discomfort instead of questioning it. What struck me immediately was not the severity of his symptoms, but how long he had accepted them as normal. For nearly 5 years, nighttime urination disrupted his sleep. He felt constant pelvic pressure, a sensation he described as heaviness rather than pain, and a level of fatigue that no amount of rest seemed to resolve. Like many men, he believed these changes were simply part of aging, work stress, or genetics. Clinical evaluation told a different story. Tests revealed prostate enlargement accompanied by chronic low-grade inflammation. Blood and inflammatory markers suggested sustained oxidative stress rather than an acute condition. This meant the prostate had not suddenly become dysfunctional. It had been under silent attack for years. When we explored his lifestyle, a pattern emerged. High intake of processed foods, poor fat quality, minimal antioxidant-rich foods, and long periods without any dietary structure. His prostate had been deprived of the nutrients required for tissue protection and cellular repair. It is critical to understand that the prostate is extremely sensitive to inflammation. Repeated exposure to poor dietary fats, oxidative stress, and metabolic imbalance gradually alters prostate tissue. In Mr. Chinida's case, there was no dramatic warning sign. Only subtle signals ignored over time. The body compensated until it could no longer do so quietly. We implemented targeted dietary correction, focusing on anti-inflammatory fats, micronutrient restoration, and prostate-supportive foods. Within weeks, his nighttime urination decreased. Over several months, pelvic pressure eased and sleep quality improved. Mr. Musa, 47 years old, sought medical help not because of pain, but because something more subtle was slipping away: his confidence. He described a growing sense of discomfort that was difficult to explain yet impossible to ignore. There was frequent urinary urgency, a persistent feeling of pelvic heaviness, and a noticeable decline in energy and motivation. More concerning to him was a change in how he felt as a man. Reduced drive, emotional flatness, and a sense that his body was no longer responding the way it used to. Clinical examination revealed prostate inflammation without advanced enlargement, a stage many men overlook because it lacks sharp pain. Laboratory findings pointed toward metabolic imbalance and early hormonal disruption. When we analyzed his diet, the pattern became clear. His daily intake was dominated by refined carbohydrates, low-quality oils, and a severe lack of healthy fats and antioxidant-rich foods. These deficiencies had quietly altered inflammatory pathways and hormone signaling, directly affecting prostate function. The prostate is not an isolated organ. It is metabolically active and highly responsive to nutritional inputs, particularly fat quality and micronutrient availability. In Mr. Musa's case, chronic exposure to inflammatory dietary fats and absence of protective nutrients created an internal environment that fueled inflammation and disrupted hormonal balance. His symptoms were not random; they were physiological feedback signals. Rather than focusing on medication alone, we addressed the root nutritional deficiencies. His dietary plan emphasized anti-inflammatory fats, nutrient-dense whole foods, and elimination of inflammatory triggers. Over the following weeks, urinary urgency became less frequent. The sensation of pelvic pressure diminished. More importantly, his sense of vitality and confidence began to return as hormonal markers moved toward balance. Mr. Adeyemi, 58, arrived at my clinic after nearly 10 years of dismissing symptoms as normal aging. For him, the changes had been gradual: a weakening urine stream, repeated awakenings at night to urinate, and a constant sense of discomfort in the lower pelvic area. None of these signs felt urgent enough to demand attention. Like many men, he believed that prostate problems were inevitable with age and that intervention would make little difference. Medical evaluation revealed advanced prostate enlargement accompanied by long-standing inflammation. The tissue changes were not sudden, they reflected years of silent progression. At this stage, complete reversal was no longer possible. However, this did not mean that nothing could be done. The prostate, even when enlarged, remains responsive to its biological environment. A detailed review of Mr. Adeyemi's lifestyle showed prolonged dietary imbalance, low intake of anti-inflammatory nutrients, and years of oxidative stress. His body had adapted until it could no longer compensate. Instead of promising unrealistic reversal, the focus shifted to slowing progression, reducing inflammation, and improving daily function. Through nutritional intervention targeting inflammation and metabolic stress, Mr. Adeyemi experienced meaningful improvement. Nighttime urination became less frequent, discomfort decreased, and overall quality of life improved. Follow-up evaluations showed reduced inflammatory markers and stabilization of prostate-related symptoms. His case highlights a critical reality. While food cannot erase a decade of neglect, it can still influence the future. Prostate health is not an all-or-nothing condition. Even late intervention can reduce suffering, delay invasive procedures, and preserve function. Aging alone did not cause his condition, years of unaddressed biological stress did. Changing that environment changed his trajectory. Across multiple prostate cases, one food appeared consistently among men with better outcomes: avocado. This is not coincidence. Avocado is uniquely rich in monounsaturated fats, which play a central role in reducing inflammation and supporting hormone-related signaling. The prostate depends heavily on fat quality for cellular integrity and proper blood flow. Avocado also provides vitamin E, plant sterols, and powerful antioxidants, all of which protect prostate tissue from oxidative damage. Oxidative stress is a major driver of prostate inflammation and enlargement. By neutralizing free radicals and improving cellular resilience, avocado helps create an internal environment where the prostate can stabilize rather than deteriorate. Another critical benefit is improved pelvic circulation. Healthy fats enhance blood flow, ensuring the prostate receives oxygen and nutrients while efficiently removing metabolic waste. This directly impacts urinary comfort and tissue health. Additionally, plant sterols found in avocado have been associated with improved prostate function and hormonal balance. Regular intake matters. Consuming half an avocado 3 to 4 times per week provides consistent nutritional support without excess calories. The prostate does not collapse overnight, and it does not heal overnight either. It responds gradually to what you feed your body. Avocado is not a miracle cure. It is a biological support tool. Simple, accessible, and powerful when used consistently. In prostate health, consistency is not optional, it is the strategy.